From doing the deed every night for almost 2 decades to going at it multiple times in one go, Scottie Pippen's ex-wife exposes their crazy sex life. Let's take a look at the intimate details of Larsa Pippen's relationship. Getting into what goes on in someone else's bedroom isn't really any of our business, but it's clear that Scottie's ex-wife is very open to discussing this sort of thing. The 48-year-old really doesn't care much for following societal norms. Her relationship with Michael Jordan's son makes that much clear. But in a recent reunion episode of her hit TV series, The Real Housewives of Miami, she took her boldness a step further and decided to spill some serious tea about her sex life. When host Andy Cohen asked, "Who here has the most sex?" she was quick to show off the fact that she's used to having sex 4 times in a row.
It's super wet and it's like slushy and slippery. I hate that feeling.
Yeah, we actually walked like 20.
From the looks of it, Scottie Pippen wasn't only one of the greatest NBA legends of all time, he was also surprisingly great in the bedroom. So while he may have famously earned the title No Tippin' Pippen for never leaving tips behind, looks like he was far more generous when it came to doing it. So much so that Larsa is still boasting about it even 2 years after their divorce.
Talking about other people. I have my own stories. I have enough content in my life. I'm going to sit here and talk to you. It's going to be about my own shit, not someone else.
Hey man, you don't just win an NBA title and an Olympic medal in the same year twice if you don't have some serious stamina. And perhaps all that training came in handy for Pippen when it came to the ladies, because according to Larsa, she and her ex-husband had sex every night. Might I just remind you that the pair met in 1995 and stayed married for almost 20 years before their ultimate divorce?
And you are officially divorced?
Yes.
Yes. What'd you think of The Last Dance?
You know, I feel like I think Scottie wasn't portrayed.
Looks like Michael Jordan's son has some big shoes to fill. Let me just quickly do the math for you all over here. Scottie and Larsa were married for over 20 years, and while they did go through some rough patches, Larsa's comment made it clear that their sex life was always exciting. She mentioned that they rarely took any days off, and that would often leave her husband exhausted. So essentially, Scottie's ex was out there having sex 4 times a night, every night, for almost 2 decades.
I had sex 4 times a night, every night. I never had a day off for 23 years.
Wait, my God, what?
But in response to this info, the host joked that Marcus Jordan, her current beau, clearly has some big shoes to fill. Larsa, with her typical tongue-in-cheek humor, responded by mentioning that Marcus wears a size 15 shoe.
The plane, I traveled with my kids, yeah.
Marcus has big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
He wears the size 15 shoes. I think he's okay.
Oh.
And so, he's doing quite fine in terms of filling anyone's shoes. That was a good one, Larsa. But does this mean that she also expects Marcus to keep up with her insane sex drive? Well, that's what her statement implied.
They're cool with it. Yeah, everyone. I think, like, when you're an adult, I think your parents just want to see you happy. You know, my parents want to see me happy. His parents want to see him happy.
But then, if she was so satisfied with her ex, why did Larsa divorce Scottie in the first place? You don't just stay with someone for that long and have 4 kids with them, only to divorce for no good reason. In the past, whenever Larsa talked about her relationship with the Bulls player, she always had nice things to say. According to her, they ended up talking for 7 hours on their first date, and the chemistry was unimaginable.
I think Scottie wasn't portrayed as well as he should have been, because I do feel like he basically was the team.
So, he was a man who was good at conversation and in bed? Seems like a catch. Why would Larsa want to let that one go? While official statements say that the ex-couple parted ways due to irreconcilable differences, we all know that is always code for something else. The exes haven't revealed a lot about whatever issues they were experiencing, but they did deal with quite a few bumps on the road. Larsa actually filed for divorce back in 2016 as well, before reconciling with her husband. But whatever issue caused the potential split in the first place seemed to have lingered on, because just 2 years later, the couple was drifting apart once again. Rumors suggest that this was mostly because of Pippen's control issues. Larsa even mentioned this during an interview when she spoke up about her divorce.
No, I just feel like, I feel like we were together. We had such a great run. We were together for 21 years.
Yeah.
So no, I feel like it was perfect.
She referred to her ex as the Punisher, who constantly felt the need to remind her that he was in charge. Looks like ex-Mrs. Pippen wanted a bit more freedom of her own, and now that she's no longer married, she's finally getting it. But all this leads me to the next section of this video. How did Pippen's ex-wife end up with Michael Jordan's son?
How was dinner?
This one's a mystery for literally everyone, especially because of the age difference between the pair. The 48-year-old is 16 years older than Marcus. And to make it a little more strange, might I just remind you all that her ex-husband used to play for the Chicago Bulls alongside Marcus's father.
Jordan head of the circle. Back he comes the other way for a floating 15-footer he hits.
The two seemed to be really tight in the 80s and 90s, but soon differences arose, and Scottie didn't like the way Michael was given all the limelight in the documentary The Last Dance. All this makes it clear that Michael and Scottie don't see eye to eye, and for Larsa to date Air Jordan's son, who is closer in age to her son than he is to her, this does come off as weird to a whole lot of people. But Larsa clearly has an age is just a number attitude, because for her, it's about maturity.
I really view age as, you know, you're mature, you're not immature. I don't feel like that determines if you're mature or not. Well, I feel like if you can drink it.
During an appearance on Tamron Hall, Larsa said she didn't plan to date the son of her ex's teammate, but it just so happened.
Michael Jordan's son.
I didn't plan it like that. It wasn't like it was planned like that. I think we were just together a lot with our friends, and it just so happened. It wasn't like something.
And that if people have a problem with her dating someone younger, that's not her problem. She thinks the root cause is jealousy. The two apparently have very similar friend circles. That's how they met.
So it was like my whole life is different now than it was then. I'm kind of living my 20s again. It's great.
And now that they've finally become Instagram officials, Larsa openly refers to Marcus as her best friend. She's also recently started hanging out with Marcus's parents. And while she refused to comment on that, we wonder how her ex feels about this, given that he isn't exactly besties with Michael. Whatever the case may be, the reality TV star has maintained that she believes that she has the right to love whoever she wants.
You know, I feel like I'm a person. I want to live my life. I want to be happy. And that's kind of what I'm doing, you know?
Yeah, you definitely.
The self-proclaimed cougar doesn't care for all the criticism she receives regarding her life choices. Perhaps that's why she was so open in discussing her sex life on TV.
Girls that I thought I wasn't going to get along with, I'm getting along with. And a couple of the girls that I thought...
Her I don't care attitude doesn't really stop people from passing comments, though. Even recently, netizens had a lot to say about Larsa's sex life after her comments. It's 2023, and in this age of social media, people feel the need to share their thoughts on quite literally everything. And so, can we really expect that Larsa would speak of her sex life with an NBA legend and the public won't go into a frenzy? Soon after she made her comments, Twitter was abuzz with memes and jokes about the whole situation. One fan literally associated Scottie's ongoing back problems with his very active sex life. He went on to joke that his own back hurt after hearing what Larsa had to say. Of course, Scottie's career was bound to be laced with constant back issues. Another user took the opportunity to praise Pippen for being the GOAT and mentioned that Larsa's statements imply the NBA star was never at his full potential in the field. Yet, he still achieved great heights and helped make the Chicago Bulls a household name. Now that's some serious talent. My personal favorite was that one person who said that Larsa deserves to be in the Guinness Book of World Records. Ha! Some people did deny what she had to say, and they may be raising a fair point. But so far, that's all I know about Scottie Pippen's ex-wife exposing their crazy sex life.